though this is all the way public first, let's check out the sunset before it goes away. Can you see it? Oh. It's kind of hard to see it. Alright, well, I'm trying to get you guys some sunset, but it's a little hard to see. We have got Heather DeSantis here, and she is an incredible PR pro. She has booked over 9,000. Okay, good. She has booked, I think other people are looking at us weird. She has booked over 9,000 features in media for herself and for her clients, right?
Yeah, and I've been doing it since 2012 and really passionate about sharing my knowledge to ensure that you have less resistance as you go out to get your own media.
Yeah, so if you've ever dreamed of it being on something like CNN, CBS, NBC, ABC, BuzzFeed, what else? Business Insider.
Yeah.
Like
Local media, national media, and really we're here to provide value to you and give you the tips you need so you can support yourself, especially if you're going to be launching a book, which I know what many of you are.
Yes, let's start with that question because I've got some questions for people who responded earlier, but to start with books. Number one, is it valuable to have a book?
Yes.
To get media?
Yes, because when you pitch the media, you have to be timely and relevant, and you have to have something that's connected to a date. And when you have a book, that's your platform to talk about, and often as entrepreneurs, people struggle about trying to go on and sell their products. When you physically have a book, there's messaging in there, there's key tips that people can use to really have a better life and have less resistance in what they're working on. So I say a book is a perfect place to start if you dream of getting press, and then also big picture, you want to speak as well.
Yeah, for sure. I know a lot of people use their book to leverage to get on stages, and I have even heard from two different people, one, that a book is often a prerequisite to get booked on certain stages, and two, if you have a book, or if you have multiple books, or you're a best-selling author, you can actually garner higher speaking fees than other people who don't have a book.
It's true.
See,
you have to put the work in now to have the end result of all the media, all the accolades, all the speaking engagements. So you gotta start somewhere, which is why I'm a huge proponent of local media in your market, because national media won't even have you on unless you've done local media. Like, that's one thing people really, really, really need to understand, acknowledge, and start making actions.
That's a good little insider hack, because I think sometimes people think, well, I want to go on a huge scale, but you need to start local first for those national places to even want to consider you, unless you have some kind of wild, crazy that just or story that just picks up like wildfire.
Yeah.
But for most of us who are entrepreneurs, we need to start with local media. And I think it's good too to get practice doing the interviews, being ready for it, getting used to what the set feels like before we go on a really big stage.
Yeah, and I would say two things. So anytime I pitch national media, so Good Morning America, The View, any of those people, they physically ask where you've been, and they want to see your media reel, so that's really important to know. Also, I know we all dream of being on Oprah and those bigger shows, but you need to make sure you have all these backlinks and all these amazing press stories live, that if you are on national news and then people try to find you, you want to make sure that there are pieces actually there.
Right.
So it's okay. You need to acknowledge that, national media does not come until you've done your due diligence. And most of the most successful people I know have literally been on every podcast, done local media, really to build up to that national level. And you have to be willing to do the work. But here's the positive though. You have an X factor, and that local media will only have you on their show.
Right.
So they want to have local experts in their market on as a guest. So that's a huge X factor to know too.
Yeah, because I'm in San Diego, so they want to have me on, not Sava Ali, hey Sava, who's in Iowa, and vice versa. She's in Iowa right now, so they're going to want to interview her and not me. So take advantage of that fact and start getting that local media and leverage it for bigger stuff.
Yeah, and so someone also asked, okay, how do I take my PR and connect it to the digital world if you're really on Facebook? And what's working really well is taking your TV segment and then running the traffic to it, changing your profile picture to be of you on TV, and then of course sending to your email list. That's really, really important. I highly suggest that you be open to doing TV, because TV is working a lot better because they see you, they hear you, they understand your story, instead of necessarily reading a flat online article.
Right, definitely. Yeah. And Heather and I both spoke at an event this past weekend, and I remember you talked about when you get media that is traditional media, it definitely gives you an elevated status, but you don't want it to stop there. You want to make that media live longer, and you can do that by, like what Heather just said, email it to your list, run Facebook ads to it, change your profile picture to show you on the set of the TV place, and just get more mileage out of it.
And I think too, it's a big shift, and as an online entrepreneur, you're so focused in talking in terms that will get an entrepreneur to buy. You're so focused on that in your messaging, but when it comes to media, you have to ask yourself, how does my product or program or company really impact lives? What are you doing? Are you impacting small business? What happens? So you're going to have to take your messaging and really have it be a deeper message than necessarily just Facebook ads or ClickFunnels or something that's very digital based, because the average American does not care about those topics.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm going to switch the camera around and ask you some questions. Is that cool?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
So, let's focus on you. Okay, and I feel like maybe the audio will be better too.
Oh, for sure.
Just because we're in a loud restaurant. It's Heather's birthday tomorrow. Wish her happy birthday. She's having an early rosé to celebrate. Okay, so some questions. Saba Ali asked, should you yourself pitch the story or have someone else do it for you, like an assistant, or even if you pretend like you have an assistant?
Yeah, I believe that whoever is pitching you or your assistant, has to have really positive energy. Honestly, if you have a story down and you have good energy and know they're going to say yes to you, that's all that matters. You can pitch yourself or your assistant can pitch yourself. I would also say key things in your pitch email is in your pitch email, you physically need to lead with who you are. You need to make sure that you connect your pitch to relevancy. So how you as a person is positively impacting the world. What's going on in the world? Is it the new year? Is it tax season? Or breaking news or an awareness day? You need to use those key points to make you and your business relevant. If you try to pitch yourself without a key anchor of relevancy, you're gonna have a lot more resistance. And so you really need to think, okay, this is my message. These are the four things I want to talk about, and this is how it connects to the big picture. I'll give you a tip. What I do for myself and all my clients is we have Google alerts set up. So anytime a story breaks that has to do with a certain topic for the industry, we know right away, and we can use that as leverage to then physically get more media.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, Raul Lopez Jr. asked, can you set up book signings at major bookstores? And I don't know if he means like, can you, Heather in particular, or can one in general set up book signings at major bookstores?
So I can tell you that I've worked with authors before in publishing companies, and a trick that we did is, for example, in the San Diego market, we called a Barnes & Noble and said, hey, we have the author coming into the store. We want to make sure that we have books on your shelf so we can do a book signing. So using those things as leverage.
And then would they have to go and order them? Could you just like bring them and like stock them if you had them on
That I don't know.
Okay.
But the publishing company physically sent that to Barnes & Noble.
Okay, so yeah, this is probably if you're working with a publishing company, not doing it on your own. I in particular help people self-publish, so that probably is a little bit different approach.
Yeah.
But okay, cool. Melissa Tucker asks, what's the process to getting on those incredible sites networks that you mentioned, like CBS, NBC, BuzzFeed, these big ones?
So first and foremost, like everyone wants to be a writer for Forbes, Inc., etc. Recently, the Huffington Post got rid of their blogger and contributor platform. That's because so many people, unfortunately, who are a contributor are abusing the platform, which means that they're taking compensation for writing articles about others. That's not allowed, and ethically speaking, you can't. So I write for BuzzFeed, but I could never feature any of my paying clients who give me money in those articles. So that's number one. Number two, if you really want to be a writer, you need to start somewhere. There's amazing platforms out there. There's YFS magazines, there's Millennial Magazine, there's Influence, and there's Addicted to Success, which are all major outlets that will certainly allow you to apply to be a contributor. And then from there, you really need to get in the habit of figuring out what's your topic, how often are you going to talk on that platform, and then what's your promotion plan, because all these major platforms are asking you, like the Forbes Entrepreneurs of the World, who are you writing for, and what's your reach of your articles, etc. So you really have to start somewhere, which is why I highly encourage writing for those medium-sized, amazing media companies, and or doing a post on Facebook saying, hey guys, I really want to start writing. Who has a website that would love to share some of my content with your readers?
Awesome.
Yeah.
And of course, hire you because you can help as
you
well.
Can hire me too.
Yes. Stay tuned for Laura on these big sites. Okay, Jana asks, how do you connect with the right journalists to make sure your pitch shows a win-win?
So once again, it goes back to relevancy and knowing the beat of the writer, seeing some of the past articles that they did, and then also, connecting with them on social media platforms too.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, Catherine Klein asks, how do you integrate PR with paid advertising? So we kind of touched on that,
we
but
touched on that. But so the thing is, most people miss the boat with PR in that they do the interview and they wait for all the sales. What you need to do is take your PR, you need to run traffic to it, you need to send it to your email list, you need to keep sharing every month. You can share more on Twitter than on Facebook, but you have to keep sharing. And of course, you can take that press on Facebook and physically run traffic to it. Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, so Andrew Ryan Londre, I always pronounce his name like really French. I don't know if that's right. Okay, so let's see. He said, if you are an impact or mission-driven social entrepreneur, are there specific approaches or tactics or even organizations maybe that you should consider or pursue?
Yes.
Or is it all the same?
No, so I do a lot of cause marketing campaigns, and kudos to you for doing that because I think it's great. There's a lot of media companies and websites that highlight for good people and entrepreneurs and businesses. And also there's a lot of for good podcasts that really are showing to have a strong download listenership rate because people who listen to for good podcasts are very invested in those podcasts.
Very cool. Okay, let me turn
Here. So those were all the questions that we got in advance. Is there anything else, any other tips that we didn't talk about that maybe come to your mind? I mean, you were like a plethora of knowledge. She spoke on the stage for like an hour and it was just like nonstop, taking notes.
Yeah. And okay, any last questions, anything for PR, we will like literally give you the keys to the kingdom and answer right now.
Yeah,
anything.
And we don't have a ton of people live, so also post your questions below, and we'll make sure to tag Heather or tag her when you write a question below, and she'll come back in and type out an answer, and we can also notate them and do this again.
Yeah.
This is fun. Yeah.
Okay, there's 4 people. Can we get some hearts on here if you think we should do more knowledge-based Facebook Lives?
Not just like, oh my god, here I am at the beach, although we kind of are. Awesome.
Well, thank you guys so much.
Okay, cool.
It was so fun.
Okay, round 2 will be coming up, so post your questions. Oh, thank you. Okay, bye, and happy early birthday to Heather.